Welcome to the class of neural networks. Today we'll be learning about the basic learning laws in neural networks. Now, the operation of the neural network is governed by neuronal dynamics. That is, it consists of two parts. One is corresponding to the dynamics of the activation state, and the other corresponds to the dynamic of the synaptic weights. So here two aspects, that is, the short-term memory in the neural network is modeled by activation state of the network. The long-term memory, which corresponds to the encoded pattern information in the synaptic weights due to learning. So we can understand here that the activation state is linked to the short-term memory and the long-term memory is related to the synaptic weights, which relates to the information part. Now, the learning laws are merely implementation models of synaptic dynamics. Typically, a good model of synaptic dynamics is described in terms of expression of the first derivative of weights. They are called learning equations. The learning laws describe the weight vector for the ith processing unit at time instant t plus 1 in terms of weight vector at time instant t as follows. This is the equation of it. So there are different models for implementing the learning feature of the neural network, leading to several learning laws. So the different learning laws what we have are Hebb's law, perceptron learning law, delta learning law, Widrow and Hopf's LMS learning law, correlation learning law, Instar Winter take all learning law, Outstar learning law. So these are the 7 laws that are the basic learning laws of the neural networks. So first we'll go with the Hebb's law. So in this laws, major thing is the weight factor. The requiration of the weight factor is important in neural network, as the weight is the one that stores the information, and again it gives it to the summing part, then to the activation function, and goes to the output. So the weight factor is important because the weight should be updated. If it is updated, then it is capable of taking the information that it is able to perform as like a natural human brain neuron. Means the human like behavior which is done by the help of neurons. Here the change in the vector is given by this particular equation. So the jth component of the weight is given by this. Here S is the output signal of the ith unit. The law states that the weight increment is proportional to the product of the input data and the resulting output signal of the unit. This law requires weight initialization to small random values around Wij is equals to 0. Prior to learning, this law represents an unsupervised learning. Now coming to the second law, that is the perceptron learning law. Here the change in the weight vector is given by this particular equation. This law is applicable only for bipolar output functions f. This is also called as discrete perceptron learning law. The expression for delta Wij, delta means change, shows that the weights are adjusted only if the actual output Si is correct, since the term in the square brackets is 0 for the correct output. This is supervised learning law, as the law requires a desired output for each input. In implementation, the weights can be initialized to any random initial values as they are not critical. The weights converge to the final values eventually, but repeated use of the input-output pattern pairs provide a pattern pairs are representable by the system. This issue will by the system. Okay, so this is the second law. So now from examination point of view, I would like to say to you that first study this particular paragraph in the law where you will be able to describe the law, then followed by this particular part, so that it will be a correct pattern of the understanding. Now third one is the delta learning law. So everyone you have the equations of the weights and its f of function output function derivative. That is the answer. Output. This law is valid only for a differentiable output function as it depends on derivative of the output function f. It is a supervised learning law since the change in the weight is based on the error between the desired and actual output values for a given input. Delta learning law can also be viewed as continuous perceptron learning law. Now here in the implementation, the weights can be initialized to any random values as the values are not very critical. The weights converge to the final values eventually by repeated use of the input-output pattern pairs. The convergence can be more or less guaranteed by using more layers of processing units. That is the between layers what you have between your input and the output. The delta learning law can be generalized to the case of multiple layers of a feed-forward network. Now the fourth law, that is Widrow and Hopf LMS learning law. This law is also a supervised learning law and is a special case of delta learning law, where the output function is assumed linear, that is f of x of I is equals to x of I, means with respect to the input it is changing linearly. Okay. In this case, the change in the weight is made proportional to the negative gradient of the error between the desired output and the continuous activation value, which is also the continuous output signal due to linearity of the output function. Hence, this is also called as least mean squared LMS error learning law. This is same as the learning law used in the Adeline model of neuron. In implementation, the weights can be initialized to any values. The input-output pattern pairs data is applied several times to achieve convergence of the weights for a given set of training data. The convergence is not guaranteed for any arbitrary training data set. So this is mostly applicable for the Adeline model. We have studied earlier the three models: MP model, Adeline model, perceptron model. Okay, so three models of the neuron we have earlier studied. So this particular model is applicable morely to the Adeline model. Fifth one, correlation learning law. This is a special case of Hebbian learning with the output signal being replaced by the desired signal. So here the output is replaced by the desired signal, but the Hebbian learning is an unsupervised learning. Unsupervised means there is no correct categorization of the information. If the correct categorization of the information is there, then it is supervised. If it is uncategorized, means if you say jumbled information is there, then you can say it is unsupervised. If it is not jumbled and categorized properly, all categories are in proper manner, then you will say it as supervised. Whereas the correlation learning is a supervised learning since it uses desired output value to adjust the weight. In implementation of the learning law, the weights are initialized to small random values close to 0. Now coming to the sixth one, that is the second last one, Instar winner take all learning law. Now this is relevant for a collection of neurons organized in a layer as shown in the figure. All the inputs are connected to each of the units in the output layer in a feed-forward manner. For a given input vector A, the output from each unit I is computed using weighted sum WIT of A. The unit K that gives maximum output is defined by this. So this is the pattern I was specifying you. First you define it, elaborate it, then you go for the weighted function. This particular pattern, if you follow for all the laws, then it will be very much beneficial to you from your examination and understanding point of view also. You will be able to gain good marks also. So these are the equations of your weights. The final weight vector tends to represent a group of input vectors within a small neighborhood. This is a case of unsupervised learning. In implementation, the values of the weight vectors are initialized to random values prior to learning and the vector lengths are normalized during learning. Now coming to the last law, that is the Outstar learning law. The Outstar learning law is also related to a group of units arranged in a layer as shown like this. Okay. This law states that the weights are adjusted so as to capture the desired output pattern characteristics. The adjustment of the weights is given by this following equation, where the kth unit is the only active unit in the input layer. The vector B is the desired response from the layer of the M units. The outstar learning is a supervised learning law, and it is used with a network of instars to capture the characteristics of the input and output patterns of the data for data compression. In implementation, the weight vectors are initialized to 0 prior to learning. So this is the summary of your 7 basic learning laws of the neural networks. So where you have the 7 learning laws, their weights equations, their initial weights, and the learning. So in the assignment, you take the comparison of these 4 learning laws of the neural networks. Try to understand and make your own notes by using the context what I have shown to you in the proper way, where you first understand the topic. Then when you understand the topic, where it has a block, where it has a block, where it has the neural diagram, you show the neural diagram. Then go towards the weight equations, then following towards the other points if it is mentioned over there. This is the correct way of answering and understanding the particular topic. So take this as an assignment, that is the comparison of the basic learning laws, that are the 7 laws. If you have any doubts, feel free to comment. Thank you.